Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, and today we bring you my notes on Training Camp 2 in Frisco. And it's going to be worth it. So y'all make sure y'all stay with us because we got a lot of cool things that happen, a lot of cool people I talk to. And y'all know me. I'm gonna get some good information out of everybody, that we talk to all the time, because obviously new media people, we know this team very intimately. So we're going to know what to ask. We're going to know what to look for. And we have some answers for you. So for people that wanted answers, for concerns, I'm going to do my best to address those particular concerns. I might even throw in some bonus at the end, and all of that. But I'm excited about what I saw with day 2 of training camp in Frisco. And I just want to recap my notes because it's some good stuff. Number 1, the best 5 offensive line is scary good. So I got a chance to really observe them against that pass rush. It was phenomenal. Whenever I saw the best 5 offensive line, and I'm talking about Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, and still, man, it was, listen y'all, Dak pockets was so clean. Dak pockets was crazy. And men still talked about that. Like, I talked to Steele about it. I said, bro, look, I checked y'all out today. And we talked to her. I said, bro. He said, yeah, man. He said, people have no idea when that best 5 come together, what we getting ready to do. So, I know it was a lot of debates going into camp. I didn't even think, to be honest, that Steele was going to even make it this far. I didn't think he would even be in training camp, to be honest, based on when he was injured and all of that. I didn't believe it, but the Dallas Cowboy medical staff has done an excellent job of getting their guys ready to play. And I'm just being honest, and to see it, discuss it, is Dallas Cowboy Nation. We are in a good place, we are in a very good place. I even talked to Tyler Biotish about his fights. We laughed about it, had a good time chatting about it, but also talking about a lot of different things regarding him waiting in line. What I love about Tyler is Tyler doesn't put any pressure on himself. I love that. He not worried about the money. He like, oh, let's go happen, man. I'm cool. I'm gonna defend my guys as part of it. And he seems more relaxed. He seems like he's ready and paused for a good year. I just hope this time Cowboy Nation don't ignore him, because there was a whole lot of Cowboy Nation that even treated him like his Pro Bowl was a fluff. I'm gonna be honest. It's a whole lot of people that really didn't want Tyler Biotish. They was trying to push for Tyler Lindenbaum. And because so much of the Cowboy Nation was at first against Tyler Biotish, they not really for him, as he's obviously ascending and becoming that player we always wanted him to be. So just my top note out of everything was how impressive that best 5 was, offensive line. I was shocked how much time Dak had going against the ones. I was shocked. I was like, that whole pocket was clean. So like, me and Voch were sitting next to each other at the time, and I looked at him, I said, bro. And he said, bruh, but yeah. He said, that's why I wanted Tyler to play left guard. He said, just look at all the how clean that interior. We were just talking about it. And over when I saw them against the ones, man. And so Tyron Smith also looked good going against the ones. So I feel better way better. I just wanted to review that note. One of my other notes, Zach and Tyron are on a pitch count. So, which leads to my other note, Bass and Awesome Riches basically have moved up. They got a lot of work with the ones. Yeah, a lot of work. A lot of work. And that's because they got their veteran players on pitch count. This also saying, Cowboy Nation, as I evaluated the practice, it's also saying that competition ruled this training camp, because TJ has moved up as he should have. He has moved up, right? And it's clear. Awesome has moved up as he should, and it was from how they played based on evaluations of preseason and training camp. And they were the guys that was playing with the ones when they put Zach Martin on pitch count, and when they put Tyron Smith on pitch count. So that's also saying a lot. It's saying a lot. Because another thing that happened, because we talked about cross-training offensive linemen, and we've been talking about that on this channel. But it's one person I'm going to tell y'all that has not been cross-trained. Tyron Smith. They are keeping him through all these practices at left guard. And I've been watching it. They're keeping him at left. The person that they're giving work at left tackle and left guard is Awesome Richards. Yeah, that's who they're giving the reps to. But they are letting him gel at left guard. So that's just a clue and a nugget that I observe from the practices that I've been seeing in Frisco, which is real important and gives me a lot of security in the plan, in the plan of the Dallas Cowboys. Another observation is Deuce got a lot of work with the ones. So for a lot of people that's been, saying Deuce should move up, well, it looked like they are inserting packages to where we're going to see Deuce with his own packages. That's what I'm getting from the practices, because they gave him a lot of work with the ones. That's just an observation, which is saying that when you look at the pattern of the practices and then compare it with what's been going on in the preseason games, it's saying that these guys, in my opinion, are moving up based on their preseason performances. Competition is really working, and Mike McCarthy and the staff in front office seems to have way less politics than maybe we've seen in the past. Gives me hope. I love what I'm seeing with that. Just kind of handing off my notes real quick. And another thing that I observed for people that might have questions and concerns about the offense, the play calling from what I was seeing at practice was play calling that was clearly going at matchups. They was attacking the nickelbacks. They was attacking Bland versus going at Diggs or Gilmore. They was going at Bland strategically because out of the three, he the weaker of the three corners. Mike McCarthy loves out routes on pivotal downs as well. That concerned me because that could be predictable. When I'm able to see a pattern of your play calling at practice, then that could be a concern. But I start seeing a pattern that on third and short, third and medium, his go-to was to go at the matchup in the slot, usually with an out route. And I'm picking up on that pattern, just from watching it. It's like, okay, it might be some predictableness in Mike McCarthy's play calling. Because, see, I'm going to be honest, obviously a lot of us believe in Mike McCarthy, as we should, but there's going to be a time to where we're going to all have to also be honest on what we're seeing from his play calling. And sometimes you can be for somebody, but then you got to turn around and still give the constructive feedback and honest feedback. So that's honest feedback on what I saw as a potential issue in the play calling from practice, but that's also my defensive instincts, from playing a position. One of the things that you always supposed to do as a defensive back is pick up on the patterns of what they're doing even while you playing the game. Because then when you get to the third and fourth quarter, you can start anticipating versus reacting. So it might be me seeing it based on the advanced reps and doing this when I played at a high level Division I and all the ball that I played. Maybe I'm picking up on it. So some bonus notes. To be all the way honest, from talking to a lot of players and kind of getting out there, obviously networking and, shooting a shot with, just our team. I think Malik Hooker has become my favorite. Yeah, just period. Just as a person, just keeping it real. Malik Hooker has probably become my favorite. For a lot of reasons. Very, very, first of all, very, very humble guy. No uppityness, no me above the team, man. And we talked about that interview we had with him at SportsCon. And I said, hey, bro, like, it's funny, we had the interview and you said that you want to remain a Cowboy for the rest of your career. And I said, I'm glad to see that you got that, because I didn't honestly think that contract was coming. And I said, now the funny thing is, I said, West Coast asked you who was the dogs to anticipate going into training camp. It was a good question by West Coast, right? And see, this is why Malik Hooker my favorite. He said, I was right too. He said, everybody that I named are turning up. He said the guys that I felt the strongest about was Bell, Israel, and Jalen Tolbert. And those are the three guys he named when we did that interview with him at SportsCon. But one of the main things that we talked about that I really appreciated about him is he named guys that he competing with. So just think about that. Just take a pause and think about that. How unselfish are you to name young bulls as guys that are up and coming? So that type of unselfishness is likely why he got his contract. It shows a lot of leadership. It shows putting team first. It's so much to like about Malik Hooker, and it makes you want to root for him. It makes you want to hope the best for him. I also got a lot of clarity on how they play the safety and what's going to happen with those safeties, even minus Overshawn. I might talk about that later, but they definitely got some plans and rotations that they was doing and how they play safety. Another observation about day 2 of Frisco training camp was the amount of big nickel that they was playing. They played a lot of big nickel, a lot of 3 safeties, a lot of it, and they was rotating Thomas in with Bell a lot, likely as the answer for Overshawn. And the big nickel is a staple to Dan Quinn now. That's what it is. It's almost like, it's not accurate for me to say it like this, but it's almost like the base D. It's not accurate to say it like that, but you should be able to get the gist of what I'm saying. So as some bonus, I also would just say it was encouraging to talk to Diggs. I'm not gonna talk about everything we talked about because he said some stuff. Honestly, if I said it, it probably would go viral. In a messy way though, because he said some stuff like, I'm gonna put it like this, because I don't want nothing out there on my players. I don't want nothing that's gonna be messy, because a lot of media people, they looking for click bites, and new media, we not on that. We not trying to just get clicks. I want them balls to be comfortable and play good. So anything that he told me in confidence, some things, honestly, y'all, I'm gonna keep in confidence, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this: Diggs got some real big goals, and he working hard for it, and he believe it. Like the stuff that he said to me, he said with a lot of moxie, and he believe it. You can sense it in him. I'm expecting a big year out of Diggs. Yeah, and I talked about that, man. We talked about that for a little while. So anyway, obviously we didn't go to live yesterday because, just to be honest, the networking was just too powerful after. It was just, sometimes you stop and do the content, but sometimes you got to pause the content for the value of the relationships that are being built organically. And it was a lot of quality relationships that Law, myself, was building out there organically, that you got to sometimes pause your content and say, I'm not going to give it to him today, I'm going to give it to him tomorrow. But I definitely want to give you my notes from training camp and what I'm seeing with my eyes. And I think I have good eyes. I trust my eyes. I think I have, honestly, some of the best eyes in the game. I really do. Like, that's not bragging. My track record say that too. Like, for real. My track record does say that. And I want to say something too, just before we get out of here. And I'm gonna talk about Sam Williams and what happened with that. I'm gonna say that to the end. But I want to say something real quick, just about yesterday in general. It was a big day for, obviously, the Dallas Cowboys, but also for new media. It was good to see, for instance, a perfect example. Shout out to my boy Chuck, actually doing the stream with Dez. Super dope. Like, where you actually going back and forth with Dez Bryant, and you new media, and they going at it. And see, the funny thing is, Tuck hit me up after the game. This is what I love about Tuck, because both of us worked in corporate America, and we know how suck up it can be. Like, it's a lot of sucking up. Man, my boy Tuck was mad he lost. I loved it. I was like, he was like, boss, I was trying to get him. I like, yeah, boy. I said, that's what I'm talking about, because, I play golf. It's a whole lot of people let their bosses win. I was one, I ain't gonna let my boss win. I'm gonna bust. And see, I love that. Tuck was like, nah, bro. I was trying to get it. I wasn't trying to kiss up to him, but hey, it was close, Dez. So shout out to J Tuck, man, with that. We want to show love to the new media brothers that's out there. They're just powerful networking and bonding and building of relationships. That's just really just kind of, allowing us to have the type of access to give y'all the news that y'all looking for. Real, authentic, uncut news from genuine sources, genuine people out here working hard, man. Just kind of seeing it. And then also a special shout out I want to say, obviously, to what happened with Sky and Botch yesterday. Actually being in the studio of 105.3 The Fan. I just want to say that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. It's some people, they're envious, so they don't know how to celebrate. They don't know how to celebrate the success of others. They'll pretend like they don't see it. They was on the fan, so nah. I'm honestly, I'm not wired that way. I have too much belief in myself to hate on anybody. I'm just being honest. It's just like when you have a spirit to where you can't give people credit, that means you have honestly, in my opinion, you have a self-esteem issue. You don't believe in you. When you can't give people credit for doing good, you don't believe in you enough, So just shout out to all of them, man. Shout out to my boy J Tuck for a big day. That's a big day, man. Some of y'all might say that's no big deal. No, that's a big deal, bro. The fact that my boy was on the stream with Dez, that's big, and I love it. And the fact that Watching Sky was on 105.3 The Fan, love it. Just displaying to the world that we are a passionate community about the Dallas Cowboys. That it's not about sucking up and trying to get jobs. It's about putting out ideas that's gonna help us win. And I want to say that about our community before I finish up with that Sam Williams stuff. I'm just happy to see what's going on with new media and all of different people that's making big moves around this space. So just shout out to the community, shout out to everybody. Now lastly, because Sam Williams, that stuff started coming out yesterday, all right? Honestly, Jerry had the best response. Everybody kind of trying to make a big deal out of it. Like, what is Jerry talking about? See, first, you got to know how to read Jerrynomics, right? You got to understand Jerry. See, Jerry basically said when he was talking about what? He went from 80 to 30. That's an improvement. What he was saying was, man, if y'all don't get out of here with this itty bitty mess, itty bitty trash, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm not gonna make no big deal out of that at all. I'm not gonna be on the camp of, oh, he should have been smart. I'm not gonna be on that camp. The camp that I'm on is the law is stupid. That's where I am, just being honest. Like, cause it's one of them things, if he would have one without the other, they would have let him go. It's like, come on, man. And then, like, I'm gonna really get on him for that? No, I'm not getting on him for no recreational marijuana, and I'm not getting on him for having a pistol. I would say get your paperwork right, learn from this, grow up. But at the same time, I'm not gonna make no big deal out of this. And I love Jerry's response. Jerry's response is basically saying, man, if y'all think I'm finna worry about this, some marijuana and a gun in Texas, you dealing with the wrong GM. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate that. So, but my last thing, that just to talk about almost everything that happened yesterday, it did also hurt my heart to see it. It helped and hurt my heart. DeMarcus Ware in the Ring of Honor, but Jimmy not. It's the saddest thing I'm gonna say is y'all please hear me out on this. Hear me out. This whole channel was created with the thought of all of us being able to come together, compete with ideas, have an organized platform to put the best ideas out there that could hopefully catch on and get inside the building to help us win a championship. That's the whole reason Boss Cowboy Sports was formed. For one of the first times since I've been doing this, for one of the first times, I really don't see no major problems on this team. Coaching, check. Quarterback, check. Receiver 1, 2, 3, and 4, check. Tight end 1, 2, and 3, check. Top best 5 offensive linemen, check. Now your depth looking good with Bass and Awesome, check. Your running backs looking good. You look like you got a pretty good power back in Rico, check. You got you an explosive back and Deuce, and you got a surefire RB1. Check. I mean, I can go on and on all the major checks. Please, God, don't let me talk about the defense. You got you some shutdown corners, 1 and 2. All 3 are ball magnets. Check. You got super depth at safety. Check. You got green dot guys at safety. Check. Your linebackers looking good. Check. Harper and LVE a year or 2 years off of surgery. Check. Harper looking good. Depth. Check. Cox playing good. Depth. Check. We finally have some run stoppers. You got Quentin Bohanna going into year 3. Check. You got Hankins starting the season. Check. Mozzie has no pressure to have to play good now. Check. Also going in year 3. Check. I'm talking about checking off the boxes. Man, Micah Parsons going into year 3, working on his hands all off season. Check. Tank playing on both sides. Check. I looked at the kicker yesterday, 8 out of 9. Check. I watched him yesterday. The kicker. He hit a 45-yard kick and he had like 15 more yards, and every one of them was down the middle. I'm watching the kicker, every one of them. He nailed them. Check. Swing tackle. Looks like with the way that they've been playing the left side and right. Check. What's my point? I hardly see any concerns going into the season. I hardly see any concerns. Now, I only got 2 concerns left. Goodell being petty against Dallas out of revenge against Jerry, and a curse based on Jimmy Johnson. I don't care what happened. It's just embarrassing now. That's the only thing I can say. I feel embarrassed. Even as a fan, I just feel embarrassed. Cause it looks petty. It just looks petty. And somebody said on Twitter, "Boss, did you hear Jerry? He kind of made sense on what he said." Yeah, I heard Jerry. He basically said that every year he used Jimmy Johnson for publicity. He said that he basically know how to get a rise out of using this. That is not a justified reason to not have Jimmy in the ring. Cause see, you are the wealthiest owner. Are you really telling me you have to get a little bit more money from publicity? And you've been doing it now for 30 years? Nah, that doesn't suffice. It doesn't suffice. So all of us that really want to see the Dallas Cowboys win a championship, we want to check that box too. We want to check the curse box. We want to say, Jerry, you have crossed and checked all the boxes. Safety check, linebacker check, D-line check, quarterback check, receiver check. You checked all the boxes. Check that last box with Jimmy Johnson, because, you know, we really trying to do everything to win. But out of love, I want to make sure that I presented to y'all my notes on day 2 of Frisco. I'm gonna just tell y'all, the Dallas Cowboys looking very good, and y'all make sure y'all stay with us at Boss Cowboy Sports as we continue to give you this type of content, and we got a lot of good stuff that's coming. It's gonna be a good year for all of us, and thank y'all greatly for continuing to subscribe, liking, sharing the video, and continue to hit that like button, and all the things that help us. Continue to super chat. Some of y'all give in the Cash App. All of those things go into growth. So I greatly appreciate all of you. Love you all. And let's prepare for a good season. And y'all look out for me today. I will be dropping more content on the final day of training camp, as we always do. It's your boy, Boss Cowboy Sports, bringing you more measured Kool-Aid. And y'all stay up. It's DC4L. Peace and salute.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Look, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets done taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets done taught me, I'm just tryna get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the 2nd grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Niggas hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, green to go, even when it's slow. Higher heights to balance out the lows. Can't ride the wave cause you ain't got a boat.